Allez, il faut plus faire de bruit, mon cœur. Tu peux fermer la porte, tu peux sortir la porte. Hey, beautiful. It is Sunday. I'm hanging out at the house in my pink prayer blanket, and this is my prayer spot. Although I pretty much usually sit outside in the garden and pray out there, meditate and pray. And I'm having some matcha, and this is my new pink mug. Hello, hello. Let's get to it. I'm Alix, everybody. If you haven't met me, I have been an energy healer, psychic medium, channel and business mentor for 17 years. I started out as an angel therapy practitioner really successfully. I was leading group meditations already back in, I gotta remember the dates better, but I think it was 2009 is when I started. And from there, it grew and it just like snowballed into weekend workshops to develop your intuition. And then I did a workshop called Angels Empowering Women. Can you guys hear the water in the walls? It's so weird. There's like a water thing here. I'm in Belgium. I just moved here a couple months ago from LA. I was living in LA, and before that I was in the south of France living in a beautiful 3-bedroom condo on the beach, and I have been able to live as a single mom with my son thanks to my energy healer freedom mentoring business. Okay. And I've been training, helping coach, helping mentor women who feel blocked around their business, around their visibility, around using their voice, around showing up online, removing some of the archetypal beliefs like, who am I to? I can't do this because I'm married and I need to leave the bread winning to my husband. I can't leave my kids. Who am I to succeed? I'm just a student. I still have more to learn. No, I teach them to pivot from student to expert, from student to practitioner, from being a looker to a finder, things like that. So I'm kind of in my cozy, like Sunday warm. It's kind of cloudy here today, and I wanted to talk to you about the signs in your business that you are probably needing to pinkify. We're gonna pinkify. I don't have a pink pen yet. I'm gonna go get that. So yeah, I mean, pink wasn't like my ultimate favorite color. I don't think I was explicitly like a pinkster until I realized that I had massive business burnout and my brain would not cooperate. My brain that, usually I have an idea, you guys, and I'm like a bulldog. Like I will not let it go. Sorry for everyone who has a bulldog. Maybe that's not the correct analogy, but I like would get my teeth on an idea and I wouldn't let go till it was launched, finished, sold. Everybody was happy. I had testimonials. Like I would get my vision in, like the way I've been doing it with this project. I don't let go. I'm like, let's go. Like I wrote 4 like ebooks, like legit ebooks of over 70 pages each in 1 week each. So every week I wrote an ebook for a retreat that I was leading in Hawaii in 2012 for the 2012 energy vortex. And I led a 10-hour meditation party for 10 hours on 10-10-10 in Las Vegas. Okay. So I'm not the type to be like, I can't do it. Like I can always do it. Like I can always do anything that I want to do. And it was getting to the point where I had an idea and it was as if my brain went like, wow. And it was like, oh, I think I'm going to do this. Wow. And nothing, it was like I couldn't sit down to work, but all the things I think I talked about yesterday on the call. So what I want to share with you is if you happen to be like, I can't focus on my business. I can't focus on doing anything. I can't even sit down to do it. I know. Oh, sorry about that. I was trying to see if there were comments on here. Can you guys hear me okay? I know Amy shared. Oh, wait, let me read you what she said because it resonated like what I said yesterday with like executive dysfunction. So the prefrontal cortex is very good with executive, like cognitive, let's go, decision making. And when there's any kind of stress, trauma, and trauma can be anything, you guys. It could be like almost getting into an accident. It can be rejection. Like if every time you post you feel rejected, it gets it gets to wear on you. You know, you get to feel like, oh, what am I doing this for? And over time, your sensitivity can grow and grow to the point where doing your doing your business is just not fun anymore. It's just not fun. So Amy writes, what you're describing is exactly what I'm going through. I just can't. I don't know why. And I've been going back and forth between is this where I'm just supposed to be right now and shoulding. Okay. Yeah, I mean it's as if we were taught by our World War II grandmothers, like even if you didn't have one, you know, the hundreds monkey, we all like feel it. We all know what that is like to have a World War II grandmother living in your head going, you're not trying hard enough, try harder, you know, like one of those. I grew up with nuns in like this very Catholic. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that story. You guys, some of you have heard it already. So I have like the World War II grandmother in my head all the time. Like, not anymore, but I know what she looks like. And just mean, 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 mean. And if you have an internal World War II grandmother just always shooting on you, then you're not going to feel like your heart's open to creating gems, to creating magic, to creating fun through your specific human design genius or through your freaking heart, like whatever you want to do. So, the top 3 hidden signs you're in business burnout and executive dysfunction. So, it literally, if you looked at all of the symptoms, it can look like ADHD. You know, it can look like PDA, which is on the spectrum of autistic kids. PDA is pathological demand avoidance. And I'm a rebel, and usually when people tell me to do something, then I don't want to do it. But PDA is really, it's like another whole spectrum of, like, for example, an autistic PDA child will be on their way to take a shower, and if someone in the house says to them, you need to go take a shower, they can't go and take a shower anymore. Their brain will go in fight or flight. I don't know if anyone is familiar with this. It's really interesting. Their brain associates demand as something that threatens their nervous system, and they start to go into fight or flight. So most of them will just flight and avoid. And they're like, you told me to do it, and now I can't do it. And there's a way to do it that allows them to want to do it, and a way to do it where you're like, well, F you. You just told me to do it, so now I can't do it. And it gets to be like executive dysfunction is also, at least the way I experienced it, is I couldn't even do what was on my list of things to do. Yeah. So I wanted to give readings today to sort of help move energy out of feeling like I cannot do the thing that I wanted to do. It's too hard. It's to do. Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to give readings today to sort of help move. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Let me see if I can tag everyone. Although, ooh, we can. Hi, I'm live. Come get a reading. I think the world is like feeling like everyone's holding their breath. I don't know if I feel like everybody's just like, no. Is that the feeling? Kind of feels like that. Closed unused application. Okay, let me close a bunch of tabs. Is that landing for anyone who's feeling like, oh, maybe I haven't been able to do what I want to do for my business? Because so one of the ways that I teach manifesting and business alignment and manifesting alliance and selling packages is I really tell women not to sell one-off sessions because it doesn't actually fully help the person, and they're more likely to come back and say to you it didn't work, and then they're going to kind of be mad at you, want a refund, or not finish the 3 or 4 session package you sold. And the thing is, you don't want to sell a session or even a package of sessions. You are selling a transformation. And everything you do is selling a transformation, right? Like even me today, I am selling you for free. You're like, in exchange for your time, I'm saying, hey, I'm going to give you a reading. It's going to help you have more focus. I'm going to help you get more like that. Let's go. Let's do this. Yeah. So, and I am going to read for one person. I'm also going to change your name so you feel like it's Anonymous. Oh my God. It's whenever I do, anyway, this house is interesting though. When you do washing machine, you can hear it in the walls. Can you guys hear that? Okay, I'm gonna give you the signs already. You know what? Before I even give you the signs, can you tell for yourself where you feel like I have been shooting on myself? I have been, so the cycle of shooting and telling yourself you have to, you got to do this and pushing yourself through. The reason I don't think it's a great idea to push through, drink that coffee and push, because it's going to work less and less. It's like the more you drink coffee, the more you have to drink coffee. It's going to work less and less, and the burnout is going to last longer and longer and longer. I just was talking to this new friend I made here in Belgium, and brilliant person, like brilliant, huge like pedigree of universities and degrees and work and millions in Dubai and like working around the world. And then he still got hit by this medical issue, and that left him in a coma for 3 months and then unable to work or walk for 3 years. So I feel like the hustlers out there, anywhere you are, if you're not listening to your soul, you're not listening to your heart, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get like, and I don't want to say that's what's going to happen, but if you don't slow down, life is going to make you slow down. And I don't know about you guys, but I find examples like that everywhere of people who kind of like are going against their heart and their soul, and they're pushing, and at some point all of that time, you know, where we thought we were, oh, let me use this badass energy to push through, it ends up just slamming you in the face anyway. You know, you get sick for 3 months, something happens. So might as well like just breathe and be present, like now, you know. Okay. So the signs that you are in business burnout, and it's not ADHD, although I'm not obviously a doctor, please do go through that route if you feel like this is the way I have to do this. It's, you know, if you need to get diagnosed, please do what you feel you need to do. But just keep in mind that executive dysfunction sometimes is also just trauma. It is something happened and your brain cannot be creative because you either don't feel safe enough, something in your root chakra doesn't feel safe, something in your visibility doesn't feel safe. Like if being seen wasn't safe for you as a kid and you didn't feel safe being seen as a kid, it's going to feel like, yeah, being seen as an adult still doesn't feel safe unless you've done some of the rewiring and some of the work that we're going to do inside voice visibility and cells in that course coming up. It's coming up this month in June. So how do you dissolve the resistance and rewire your energy? If you don't, if your nervous system and your heart and your energy isn't like aligned to just go and you're pushing anyway, I hope you remember you're going to pay that price later on down the road. And if this resonates and that's happened to you, please like leave it below and tell us your story. We're not here to judge. We just want to hear your story. And it's like, oh yeah, my son. Okay, we were riding bikes 2 days ago, and my son was going so fast on his bike, like just normal bike, not even electric, nothing, just biking so hard, and he wanted to be first and he wanted to be ahead of everybody. And next thing you know, his chain on his bike just broke. Not even got dislocated, it just broke. It was like broken. He had to walk the rest of the way, or like couldn't pedal, right? He was just like on his bike going like this, like a little duck. And I'm like, see, Hayden, what's the lesson in that? He goes, I don't know. You know, he's 13. I don't know. He's like, well, the faster you go at some point, you see what I mean? You waste time anyway. Or it's the guy speeding down the highway and then he gets pulled over by the cops. Like, you thought you were saving time, you really were not. Okay, there's like this invisible force field that's like, where are you going? Like, be present through it, and then I think you can go faster. I think there's things we can do that make us get to the goal faster. Like, I'm the queen of quantum leaps and being like, I'm already there. I am. So one of the ways, I'm going to just give you a side tip that I love, is don't focus so much on the problem. Leap and get curious about the solution as if it's already happened. So who would I be? What would I be doing if I was already living and feeling the solution? So if you can't do anything right now in your business, instead of trying to get in there and fix it, be like, it's been fixed. My brain works again. My attention span's working. I do work that I love. So let me like, what if, right? People like it when I do what ifs. What if I'm able to do more and more things and handle it with ease? What if my cognitive functioning is even better? What if my executive functioning gets better and better? What if I find the perfect supplement that really helps me? What if I find the perfect routine that's just a right fit for me? What if I find the words that when I see them, I just want it? Like it's a lover in Paris, for the single ladies. You're like, oh, I can't wait. That excitement of going to see your best friends for a drink, or that excitement of going on a trip, or that excitement to be like, oh, I can't wait to get dressed up. We're going to the show tonight. Da 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 da. Like you want, obviously, it's like I'm not getting ready for this live today. I'm not in the mood. But I was really excited to come on live. I could have canceled. Like no one confirmed. I could have canceled this, but like I'm showing up because I love it and I know people watch the replay. And I'm your Pinkit bestie. I've officially renamed myself the Pinkit bestie for my pink squad. Okay, babes. So the bro marketers out there, like the bro push, push, push marketers, it's a little bit like to push, push, push. And I don't think that's sustainable for women. I don't think it's sustainable for our heart. And I don't think that's the train track we're supposed to be on. I'm just saying. I think there's a softer kind of way. And I've been kind of secretly manifesting a bunch of things for my fiance. It's been so fun because he's more of a very pragmatic, like he's into numbers and finance and things have to make sense, and I like happen to have the remote control to the matrix. So I'm like, ooh, let me manifest this for him, let me manifest that for him. And he has properties that he rents on Airbnb, and earlier today I was like, oh, he only rented that one place for 2 weeks, let me ask for like more rentals to come through. And I literally was just like, oh, let me manifest that. And then this afternoon he goes, oh, someone booked just now today. I'm like, oh, well, random, or is it because I asked for it? So I think there's things we can ask for ourselves as well, and call them in. Okay, is that helpful to know? I can leap and not spend so much time on like, what should I do to get more rentals? What should I do? What should I do? And instead you leap and you go, oh, how would it feel to get a bunch of rentals? What would it feel like to have another 10,000 come in? What it would feel like to be back at this number of money in my bank account and I'm back at blah, 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 whatever the amount of money you would feel amazing having. What do you think? Okay, so I had some notes on here. And granted, sometimes you have what seems like PDA, like pathological demand avoidance, where you're like, I cannot do anything I'm demanding of myself, because it's also not aligned. It's not like the train track's not on the right, like you're going the wrong way and your body's going shut down. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. This isn't aligned. This is you performing. This is you trying to be something you're not, right? In order to get approval, or there's something going on. And so there's a sense of moving through mud, moving through like rushing water, but the opposite way. Okay. All right. So not feeling excited about your business, feeling super negative, feeling like no matter what I do, I don't want to work on it. I don't want to open my computer. I'm not excited to go on it. I don't have any ideas, is usually like I'm missing spark. I'm missing something in there. And depending on your human design, if you're a generator, you want to be in response. Like I was just exposed to a couple posts and I wrote like the best answers. And I was like, ooh, that's my generator. That's like, I have to say something here. Like I have to speak because I have something to say. And not like, I have to write this post. And like the kids could have been literally like exploding water balloons in the living room. I would have been like, I have to write this post. That's what it feels like when you're doing a line generator, like, like I have to do this. Even though there isn't necessarily a big ooh, like hurrah, and a bunch of people showing up to be like, oh, we're into this with you, I would still follow through and do it. Like I was into angels for a very long time before sharing it with anybody. I was doing it for me before I ended up sharing it with a lot more people, and a lot more people coming to my classes and my certifications, and like spending 1,000 for a certification, in person that was for 2 days. So All right, my loves. Okay, so another sign that you are in executive dysfunction. Okay, I have all these notes on here and I keep, okay, I need to just call them back up from the pile of notes that I have. So my chat GPT is going to give me. I feel like you guys probably want more of the solution than the signs. All right, we'll do this for 5 more minutes and then I'll do the readings. Yeah, like I remember being in my house in Las Vegas when I was living there. I was like, I just graduated from college. I must have been 21, 22. And I got involved in like a few screenwriting projects because I was an actor. I was doing theater. I was doing plays. I was doing scene work. And then, sometimes on the acting audition websites, you would find people who were like looking for someone to help them with their script or people to help them with their project. And it would most of the time not even be paid work. And I would be like, okay, let me help them with this. And then I would get started, and then little by little, my energy would be like, wah, wah, because it wasn't aligned. And there was nothing wrong with me. And I remember being young and being like, why don't I have the energy for this? Why don't I want to do this? Why don't I want to push through? I wasn't supposed to, like, this wasn't my project. And I know in hindsight, having had energy to write 4 ebooks in 4 weeks with a newborn that I was still breastfeeding, I was able to just go. Like this morning I wrote an email and there was chaos around me with all the kids. Doesn't matter. I was so focused. And it's not so much what's going on with your brain chemistry, is are you doing something that you feel like your teeth are in it and you can't let go? Okay? And goals don't do it for me, you guys. I don't care about goals. Like, that's never done it for me. So does it do it for you? Let me know. I'm interested. Okay. So, you can't start what you want to start even though you want to. So you're like, oh, I know I need to send this email. I know I need to go live. I know I need to, but I don't want to. It's not laziness, there's an executive dysfunction. Okay. So another way that I felt like my body would tighten and my heart would close is if I had any like marketing, how to list, what to do, like all of the cookie cutter, this is what I need to do. I need to do this, I need to do that. And there was like a to-do list, or there was things I was telling myself to do, or like a coach would tell me to do. And I'm like, oh, I can't. Just don't tell me what to do. And you avoid even small tasks. Like I was avoiding even responding to emails or responding to comments on my posts, like small tasks, because of what they mean. So, if I engage in that post, if I engage in that email, if I engage in this, then it means that I'm sucked into this project, or I'm stuck in this. Or if I do try to get the gig and it doesn't work, then it's going to mean this about me. Do you see how it goes back to rejection and trauma? Like, if I do, like some of my clients, when they were selling packages, they're like, yeah, but what if the person says no? Well, I'm like, it has nothing to do with you. If they say no, it has nothing to do with you. That's just them saying no to their own transformation. And it's not you being back in high school when you're 16 and no one asked you to prom. It has nothing to do with that. Sometimes we have to separate those, right? And okay, the most significant, like obvious sign that you're in executive dysfunction and you need some pink in your life, girl, is that you're in a shame spiral. And I can raise my hand, like shame is my go-to. I can go to shame like this. I can like literally, I accidentally cut someone off, like driving, and I'm like, oh, shame on me. I grew up with nuns, right? So I can go to shame really quickly. But the thing about shame is if you share your darkest, deepest secret, it don't have to be online. Please don't think you have to share your darkest, deepest secret online, but you share it with somebody. It will free up, it will like empty the balloon. If you feel shame about anything, your weight, your look, anything, and you share it and you release it, maybe you share it to God in like a letter to God, and you share it in your notebook, you got to release it. If you release it, then you can come back and be online. You can come back and feel like, okay, I can do this. I'm supposed to do this. All right. Like if you miss a deadline and you beat yourself up, you are like, okay, I'll start again tomorrow, and you can't. And you try all these different things, and no matter what you try, there's more shame. Again, like being in a sisterhood. So one of the ways that I've resolved that as like just a solopreneur who's at home or in the co-working space, like it's just joining groups where you get to have really deep, honest conversations with people, and you get to go deep. And that's why I created the Ping Pong Sisterhood, because we can go deep on like, why am I truly deeply opposed to this or attached to this? Why do I really want approval? Why do I even really want my business to succeed? A lot of us have some crappy belief behind why I want to be successful. Like, I want to be successful so I can replace my dad. So I don't have to rely on my dad. He's been dead for like 30 years. So 32 years. But it's like, oh, so I don't have to rely on a man. Well, you might want to unpack that. Like, I might want to keep unpacking that, because that's not coming from a place of love. It's coming from a place of wanting control and wanting safety, and kind of being like, I don't want to need you, so let me just figure it out myself. But that's a trauma response, right? Okay. Girl, I hope you all know, like, if I say anything to you, it's because it's already been worked through my own head, and like I'm still working it, and I'm not ever trying to say, oh, you need to do this because I'm better than you. Know, like everything I'm telling you to do, I use every day, and I do every day, and it's like I work the process myself. Okay, so executive dysfunction is a brain body disconnection due to burnout, dysregulation, trauma, or nervous system overload. Sometimes it's like you have just too much going on in your personal life, and you're like, I can't handle another freaking task. A sign your systems need softness and not structure. So I will show you the way that I create softness in my world and pleasure. So we want to think about our brain as like kind of a child who's going to create the best, most creative outcomes, and money comes when our heart's open, and money comes when we're just in this open space. And we need to think of it as a child who just loves like rewards. Yeah. And like, oh, I get to eat a cookie when I sit down to work, and I get to be present, I get to write in my journal, I get to make something fun, feel fun. So I don't know, this may or may not resonate with everybody. If your love language, like, you know, the 5 love languages, like positive words, touch, spending time with somebody, buying them gifts, being of service, these 5 love languages. Well, you have to kind of think of your business and that brain business connection as like, you got a love language, both of them. What's your business love language? Quality time and words for me. Like, my business loves it when I spend so much time in it, with it. Like, it's one of my love languages is spend time with my clients. They come visit me in the south of France. I love hanging out with them. Or like I meet them in LA, wherever I am. I always try to meet my clients. I never try to be like, well, we're at 90 minutes, I gotta hang up. No, sometimes we're at 60, sometimes we're at 70, sometimes we're at 90 minutes. I don't care. Like, I don't care how long this call goes, because my love language is quality time and touch, but I can't touch you guys through the screen. But so like voice, like being positive. Okay. One of my favorite tips to creating happy, positive words in my business is I buy these stickers. So this, I have multiple ones, but this is one of them, right? And I don't, obviously I'm not promoting this company, but it's called the Happy Planner. And it's like, you can even get $1 sticker on Temu and get like 1,000,000 stickers that have positive words on it on Temu or Amazon, and just stick them inside your agenda and your lists, just to have like positivity around your to-dos. So that's one way to start to soften the resistance. Another way is I now only write maybe if I feel like it on top of my list. So if I want to be like, okay, tomorrow I really need to meditate, I really need to go to the gym, I really need to drink more water, I gotta prepare meals ahead of time. Like, instead of beating myself up about it, I now make, it would be nice, maybe, if I feel like it. And guess what? I almost do everything that's on my list now, because I'm like, I want to do it, because you're giving me the option. So it's like you're telling somebody like, well, do you feel like, doing this tomorrow? What do you think? And If it's like, huh, I don't have to. No, if you feel like doing breath work, you can. If you feel like blah, 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 you can. So one of the way that I like figured it out is I now call it spark or shelf. I either feel activated by it or I feel like not doing it. And that's how I start to let my body make the decision. I let my body be like the one that decides if it wants to do it or not. There's like a respect of my body because I'm a sacral generator and my sacral is like kind of decides things for me, you know? My body gets to decide. Is that helpful so far? And then, like I said yesterday, I renamed a bunch of my folders, like on my desktop, on my emails, on my notes. I'm just renaming things to feel like, ooh, I want to go in that folder and what do I need to do in there? Cool. So instead of being like, I have to send an email to my list, now I'm like pinkify. I'm like spreading pink dust and being like pinkify and do 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 do. Okay. And I was in, so when I moved to Belgium, I'll tell this story and then I'll do some readings. But when I moved to Belgium, I was like, I just left my entire family of friends in LA and I am in Belgium and I don't know a single person besides my son and my fiance. And I was like, what am I going to do? And I was like, quick, how do I make friends? And obviously it takes time, right? So I was kind of like walking around Brussels and I land into this Tibet monk meditation Buddhist, like tiny little shoebox of a store selling incense and all the little cute Tibet Buddhist stuff they sell. And I see this prayer scarf, which is more like a huge blanket. And I'm like, it says it's from Tibet. And I walk past it and there's only one. I'm like, I don't know, should I get it? I don't really need a freaking blanket. It's already like summer practically. But then I like tried a bunch of other scarves and then my body was like, I have to have this. I have to have this $60 blanket from Tibet, you know, made of wool. And the guy was so nice and I talked to him for a while and then these teenagers walked in and they're like, can you tell us how to meditate? And they're standing next to me and I'm like, I could tell you how to meditate. It's like, that's what I do. And yeah, it was really cool. And I felt like then he gave me this address for this Tibetan Buddhist temple to go to and meditate there. And I haven't gone, but I'm definitely wanting to go. Yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing about like the demand avoidance that is so hard is you want to do the thing and you can't even get yourself to do the thing unless you can reward it from I should to I want to. I could. I have the choice to. Like that's the one thing I would totally do, ladies, is like give yourself the choice. Like, do I want to go to yoga or do I want to go to the gym? Instead of go to the gym, be like, which one do I feel like doing? You know? So, yeah, giving yourself choices is really important. Let me know if you could try any of these, okay? Yeah, how would you reward? Yeah, reward and reward. I should sell more in my business. I should show up more online. Oh, I didn't do a story. I need to do more stories. Like, please listen to the way you talk to yourself all day, every day on like all the things you should be doing for your business. You know, we get bombarded on Instagram. It's so toxic at this point. I'm gonna have to change my entire feed. But every other post is like, look at all the money I made. Look at all the ways my business is flourishing. And then we're comparing because we're like just seeing it every day. And I think we got to find a way to be like, can I be on social media without all the business posts? I think I'm going to start a brand new social media where I only go and check out like knitting stuff and dog stuff and cat stuff so that I don't get bombarded with business anything. Like it doesn't make it fun anymore. Because no matter where you are, you're going to find somebody who's got more than you and is doing better than you. And, you know, and then we compare. So toxic. Okay. All right, my darlings. Beautiful pinksters. The world needs so much more pink right now. I feel like so much more joy and levity and softness. Okay, wait, I wanted to look at who am I going to read next? I'm thinking of two different women that I could read for. I Definitely want to read Amy because she posted in the comment section of yesterday. Okay, Sabrina, are you there? Okay, let me tag her. I don't know what's going on. I don't see posts, so I don't see comments, I mean. Do you guys feel like I've been babbling, or is this useful? In my Sunday lazy PJ.
To look at.
Okay, yay, Sabrina's here. Okay. I resonate with this shooting on self. No, feeling discouraged because the last 6 months people are not buying packages from me. They only want to pay per session. I'm hungry now, so I'm taking what I can get and reducing my session pricing. Also, what you help me remember is selling a result. I'm not doing that very well in the inquiry calls. Time for this to shift. Useful. Okay. Yeah, even like the other day, I was in the RTT forum and a lady was like, oh, I sold this package to this lady and it was 5 sessions. And after the first session, she wanted a refund on the other 4 sessions because she didn't feel the first session worked. And I didn't go into this with her on the, in the thread, but I'm like, well, actually, the way you sold it you must have sold it as a 5 session package instead of a transformation, which is a completely different sell. When you sell a 5 session package, you're selling 5 sessions. But when you sell, well, I hear you're struggling with executive functioning, I hear you're procrastinating, I hear that you don't feel like you've got the momentum to really shift your business right now. And then, when we did the visioning, you said that if you could have more momentum, you'd finish the book, you'd publish the book, and based on that, you then would be able to launch the program because you said you wanted to move to Bermuda with your kids and live on the beach and have this online program. So it sounds to me like because of executive dysfunction, you're not able to carry through with the vision. And that what's standing in the way is not that you lack ideas, what's standing in the way is you lack momentum and desire to finish this project. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. So it sounds to me like if you just took a handle on executive dysfunction, you would just be able to get up every day and do this because it sounds like that's what you want to do, but you just can't get yourself to do it, correct? Yes. Okay. And then she's like, okay, yeah, so what's the next step? Or I could say, well, would you like to know what I think would work? I say, yeah, I think what would work is if you had somebody with you, like doing WhatsApp support. And I think if you had somebody every day, kind of like on the WhatsApp, supporting you with your goals, and then especially changing your languaging around this, because it sounds like you're shooting on yourself and it's slowing you down. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. And so would you say like if you had like a 90-minute session every week and then we talked, on weekends and we can talk during the day on WhatsApp and we can just leave voice notes, would you feel supported to get yourself through the project? Yes. Oh my God. And if we took a handle and you went back into being fully the woman you've known yourself to be, would you think you could get the project done? Yes. Okay. Well, we could start with the 3 months package. We talk every week. You have WhatsApp support. What do you think? It's $3,000. That's what you sell. You're not selling 5 sessions. You're selling the result. I know it's not easy because it's like it's like a new language. It's like learning a new language. But was that helpful? You're selling the vision, you're selling the bridge, you're selling your time as an expert. So if I were selling my time as an expert to whoever maybe is watching this right now, you maybe are like, I don't know how to sell packages, I messed up. How much money are you leaving on the table when you don't have somebody helping you every single call? Like, so the way that I love coaching my sisters is like we keep in touch on WhatsApp, right? I think that's a great way for your clients to be like voice noting, but because you give them such great tools, because they have such great templates and workbooks and worksheets and RTT, they're not going to be on the phone every day with you. Like they got to go. Like you are standing in your power and you are in your power. And because you're in your power, they're in their power. They're matching your power, right? Because you feel powerful in what you're offering. And because of that, you attract people who feel powerful. So, like, I've just been coaching Mahima, who's an RTT sister, on the way she sells. And she went from being like, I sell a one off for 200, I can't remember the price, to actually now I only sell packages. And she said 2 people had inquiries for long term packages with her. She's like, like right away after we talked. What did we do? We just got her back in her power. Because if you're in your frequency of power, you attract people in their power, and then bada beam, you get a match. Okay. So I think, Sabrina, it's just normal. Like, I even forget how to sell sometimes because it's not in my day to day life. Like, I'm with the kids, I'm with my clients that I've already bought, or I'm talking live on Facebook, not talking to anyone who's actually there, except you're there, Sabrina. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, maybe I'll tell that girl in the RTT forum to come and watch what I think she should have done differently. But for that, she would have had to speak to the teenager at length to get a vision of what the teenager wanted. When I sold the package to the teenager, I was like, I need to talk to the teenager. And the teenager had a dream of playing pro tennis. So the entire time, that's what I'm selling. That's what I'm doing with him is pro tennis. I'm not actually, I mean, I did do the medical issue he had. We did RTT and CCT on the medical problem he had, but that wasn't what I was positioning myself as, because you can't take somebody into vision for that. Like, it was just a difficult angle to do. And they're very happy, and they wanted to buy more, wanting to buy another package. So, and I'm not an expert at selling 17-year-old packages because, like, they're 17. What are you going to do? Once the problem is solved, what are you going to do? So, all right. Does that make sense? Like, you're building the bridge, you're selling the vision, not I guess you're not selling the solution to the problem. I'm not selling, oh, let me fix executive dysfunction. I'm selling her vision back to her, the one she gave me. But for that, you have to know what questions to ask during the call to get to that end. Does that see what I mean? So if you know someone's going to have financial objection the whole time, like, Sabrina, how much is it costing you to not close these people, right? How much is it costing you to not close a $4,000 package over and over again, or whatever, right? And I think, I mean, I don't want to give you the economy belief, but when there is the climate of the political and economic climate we have at the moment, you want to delete more of that out of your own way. So we acknowledge that it's here, not so we double down on our fear that nobody has money anymore, because there's still so much freaking money in the world. It's ridiculous. Like, billions are still circulating, and you can decide to align with the economy of unlimited wealth and people who still have $4,000 to invest in their own transformation, in their own dreams. But because there's more talk of the recession, if it is even happening, or the economy and the political stuff, you still maybe need to do some ping ponging on that and deleting that and transmuting that, so you're not buying into it, right? Does that make sense? You got to clear that energy off, and then you can imprint what you want. Okay, so yeah, let me read for Sabrina. I'm going to see if I can pinkify anything going on. Ooh. I guess that's the other piece about pinkifying your beliefs about the economy and money is what would, like, so the way that I do this is like, what would Elle Woods say or do about this? Sabrina, what would Elle Woods say to you about this? Like, what would Legally Blonde Elle Woods be like, like, what would I do about this? What would I say? And just the lesson for Mahima is that the moment she felt more powerful, because I coached her out of feeling like she can only sell a session, is the moment she aligned with more people inquiring about her longer term packages. Okay, so just remember that power always will meet power. Yeah. Okay. Give me a minute to just tune into the energy field. Let's call on the light, Mother, Father, God, Ascended Masters, Teachers of the Light, all that is good and holy, all that is powerful, all that is true. May you surround us, uplift us, and fill us with the crystal white light of the Holy Spirit. Okay, good. Oof. Let us be surrounded, uplifted, and filled with only truth, only light, only the most powerful, sparkly white light, from head to toes and beyond our head, beyond our toes, above us, below us, 360 degrees. May the light be completely something we can feel, something we can see, something we can know. And may we see it, feel it, know it, and call on it to give us the actual absolute truth. Speaking words into being. So, like for Sabrina, the first thing I would take from my talk today and then implement is like, I have resolved this. I'm back at selling my packages with these. Oof. And whatever was blocking me from selling packages with these, I have resolved. Whatever was going on, maybe it was the wording, maybe it was the price, maybe I wasn't willing to up level, whatever, I have figured it out. It's happened. So you start to journal with like as if it's the end of the weekend. So if you were going away on a vacation for a week and you were like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to live through a whole week with 8 of my grandchildren and 16 of my kids, whatever, I'm making it up, right? You would go, it's Sunday night. We have had the most memorable, amazing week of our lives. We watched the sunset and had the best kombucha tea that I made at home, and we all spent time playing together and we played games and da 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 da. Okay? You start with the end in mind. And I kind of actually I kind of already did this week because the kids were off for 2 days, so we had a 4-day weekend, and I was like, holy holiness, bless the upcoming 4 days with joy and happiness and merriment and blessing and fun and kids playing and everybody getting along. Not that they weren't, but you're just like, okay, let's just make it fun and spicy and okay. And then without me saying anything, my fiance's like, oh, I booked this whole thing over here. We're gonna go there, and he planned the whole 4 days, and it was perfect. So it was fun. We went to this water park and we rode bikes and we played in the slides, and then it was just a good 4 days, and it's ending tonight, and it's just perfect. Okay. So start with the end in mind and get excited. And that's what I would say, like to pinkify your heart, to pinkify any problem. Leap to the end in mind and pretend it's been resolved already, and your prayers have been answered to the point that you can hold it and your nervous system can hold it. Like, I'm not going to pinkify, I have won the $14 million lottery next week. Like, my nervous system can't hold that right now. Like, I'm going to have to work myself up, right? But it's something that you could believe in. It's something you can get behind. It's something you're like, yeah, I could get behind selling packages again, right? Yeah, and I know people, when they get in my containers, they sell more easily. I somehow have the juju for people selling and making money in my containers. Okay, I got the juju for that. Yay. But you did that. You showed up. You took it in. Like, I also want to empower you, everybody who is like, I need Alex to sell. Like, you still showed up and took in the energy and made it something, and then you showed up on the calls. Like, I'm never on the calls with you. You guys, like, you're doing the calls. So yeah, so the way I'm hearing it is you're trying to resolve a 3D problem with the 3D mindset, and you're going to want to go higher and higher in your higher self and just connect to what would your 5D quantum self, your higher self. So your higher self is the one whose consciousness is beyond this. So we either are the bird in the sky and our consciousness is really small and we're like in the problem, or we are the sky and we're the sky holding the bird. And I heard this the other day. I think it was in the morning. I was like, sometimes I feel like I'm the top of the mountain. Like, I'm wearing my most beautiful dress and I'm going to the BAFTA with John Altman in London. Like, how is this my life? Sometimes I'm on top of the mountain. I'm rollerblading in the south of France, living on the beach in a 3-bedroom condo. I'm driving my dream car. I'm skiing in Switzerland. Like, what is this life? And sometimes I am at the bottom of the mountain and I'm the pebble. It doesn't happen that often, right? So sometimes I'm the mountain and sometimes I'm the pebble on the mountain. But the truth is, I'm neither the mountain nor the pebble. I'm the one observing my thoughts about the mountain and the pebble. I'm neither the mountain nor the pebble. I'm not the rock on the mountain. I'm the one observing my thoughts about both. So using your higher self is being the one observing yourself. So I'm in my sky, I'm in up there in the tunnel of white light, like in this pearly white light, and I'm looking down, and Alex going like, well, this is interesting. Oh, I'm seeing her go here, and she goes to the gym, and then she goes there, and then da da da, and I'm seeing her do all these things. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And then you zoom out and you have this like bird's eye view on your life. And then you can ask creator, what beliefs does she need? What does she need to understand? Where does she need to go? What doors need to open for her? What does she need to script? What does she need to delete? And then you can start downloading and be like, oh, doo-doo, right? Like, what's going on here? Oh, she needs to go for a really long walk in the forest by herself without a phone. Oh, let's ping that into her head. She needs to go for a walk and just talk to the trees and meditate among the trees. And then we're going to give her messages there. Like, that's what happened to me 2 weeks ago. It was like the most incredible walk through the forest I've ever had. I was getting downloads like every other step. I was like beaming new beliefs into my head that were just incredible about money and beauty, and it's just, oh, it was like pink. It was very pink. So you gotta be in relationship with your higher self to ping into your 3D human self the solution. If you're trying to solve a 3D problem with 3D thoughts, it's gonna be really hard. It's gonna be really hard. It's like asking a car to put gas in its own tank. It's gonna have a hard time. You know, you gotta ask your soul to give you the solutions. Your human is just the robot. It's the matter. It's not the spirit. The spirit is the one that can influence the matter. If that makes sense. I know dudes, like super smart guys, will say, well, I just think harder and I problem solve and I use my mind. But like, as my friend said yesterday, he goes, society was built by men, and men run society because they know what to do, because society was built by men. Like economy, finance, the whole social engineering is built by men, not women. So we have a hard time sometimes in society because we're like, this isn't how we would do life at all. We wouldn't send our kids to prison for 18 years to learn something they don't want to learn in order to just serve, you know. And this guy was super smart. He goes, we are the economy. Like, we work to feed the economy. And I'm like, you can do that knowing that's what you do? He goes, yeah, I just, one of my eyes is blind, so I don't see what's going on, but I still do it knowing that's what I'm doing. I'm feeding the beast, you know? So just all of that to say, if your argument is like, yeah, but some people just think their way out of problems, I'm like, yeah, well, those guys are the same guys who went into a coma for three months and then couldn't walk for 3 years. Like, some of them do make mistakes, and some of them do open the wrong doors, and some of them do have challenges that their soul is like trying to tell them, be like, slow down, you're not listening to me. So then you get hit by this like thing. And a lot of men who are very smart still have, you know, this other guy I know has a huge tumor in his brain. And I asked my fiance, it's his cousin, he goes, I asked him, like, do you think he lived too fast and now he has to slow down? Because they lived in Singapore and he was working in these really high-end finance world, and they ended up not being able to rent a car. And so the only way they can drive a car in France is if they have a car that is a non-permit car, like no driver license car, and you can only go like 30 miles per hour or some crazy, like you literally can't go that fast. So this guy has to drive a car with like no driver license and like super slow because he lost his driver license when he had the brain tumor. So now he has to go slower, even though he was a hustler for years. So that's what I'm saying. Like, meditation is always the answer. And I'm not saying that's what's going on with you, Sabrina, but I'm just giving everybody like, you know, and I don't think I attract that many hustler, but I think we still live in a culture of like, well, figure it out, try harder. Like, no, you have so many examples of people who try harder and they hit the wall, you know? It would be more about allowing, seeing, feeling, scripting, leaping into a state that you feel has already happened. Dr. Joe Dispenza says, do not get up from your meditation until you firmly believe in your vision and you firmly believe it's possible. And to that, I would say, yeah, and ping pong about it with the sister because she'll help you believe it faster. you know. So I remember before I had my 10K weekend in 2010, I felt like I had already gotten it. It was like, I have it. And I had never made 10,000 in my business like that. Although I think I had had a consulting contract for close to that, but not like in my spiritual business. I had never done it. And it was like, oh, I have it. It's already here. I can feel it before I manifested it. So, you guys, I am so sore from the trainer yesterday. I cannot go up and down the stairs. I'm crippled. I'm officially crippled. Oh my gosh. Okay, Sabrina, let me see if there's anything else I can get for you. Was that helpful? And like there's something Melanie said recently in one of her masterclass. She said, don't listen to my words, feel the frequency, feel the energy of what I'm saying. You don't have to take notes. Feel the feeling, the energy of what I'm transmitting. And I think like I want to say the same thing for you, Sabrina. It's like I think I haven't read your comment, but I think the biggest thing you got was the energetic download. Does that make sense? Like the oh my body's reminding me that I have a body. Yeah, you got like an energetic, um, like like a startup. Like you know when your battery in your car needs a little tune up or like a startup, like like one of those car. Uh, I can't remember what it's called, but you know, I jumped your battery. Yeah, can you jump my car? Something like that. Isn't that what it's called? You would know, right? Okay. Okay, let me see. Let me focus. Is there anything else for Sabrina? The other thing coming up is like you find evidence that that's all I can do. So the belief precedes the reality, but then the reality follows the belief and gives you validation that it's right. I mean, sometimes you are just right. Like sometimes you're just right about a guy not being the one, and you're like, it's not that you have beliefs that you can't meet the one and there's no good guys out there. Sometimes you are in a situation where it's not the right person and your beliefs are right because it's just the truth, right? But sometimes your beliefs create the reality and then the reality validates the belief. But so you got to give it time. So when I used to teach this workshop, I used to tell people like acceptance of the now will slow down the wave of the manifestation, right? So like you 3 months ago, 6 months ago believing a belief and it created a match. And then it's like, oh, okay, it's going, and I'm still manifesting the match to the belief, right? And at some point you're like, wait a minute, let me let go of the beliefs, let me let go of trying to fix this. Because you can't try to fix it, Jack. Don't make that mistake. Because if you try to fix this momentum, you're in it. You're in the wave. You have to let it go and accept it. I accept the version of me who believed these beliefs that created this manifestation. I love her. I forgive her. I love you. Heal her. Release her. But put the whole thing in God's hands and don't try to fix it as 3D or disapprove of it as 3D. You got to just let go. Let go, let go, let go. Like release kinesthetically. Like let go of the resistance. Let go of the resentment. Let go of the anger. Let go of whatever's around it. Like give it all up to God and higher power. And then accept. Acceptance is like is peace. Acceptance is peace. Acceptance, like the power of now by Eckhart Tolle, is like I'm just gonna have to accept this and believe that I am doing enough to get what I desire. Believe that I have done enough to get what I desire, right? And so acceptance of the now will stop the momentum from the past, just to accept it, forgive it, release it. And then you can have faith and positivity again. And then you can do your what ifs. Yeah? So, what if I can believe that I sell packages with ease and I start selling packages with ease again? But like your what ifs are going to come once you've really cleared up all of the fear. So I would do the fear turnaround. I would delete, uncreate, transmute, and do the clearing statement. I think we did some not that long ago, Sabrina, right? I would do the clearing statement on everywhere I believe that I just don't know how to, blah, blah, blah. Delete, uncreate, transmute, make the whole thing an untruth. Across all times, vibrations, existences, languages. We're going to do more clearing statement and voice visibility and sales coming up. So you know, we could do that together as well. And accept, accept, accept. And then you can have faith and positivity and start to script something new into being. Okay. Okay, I think that's good for now. For Sabrina, I gave you so much. Let me check Melissa or Amy. Why did I say Melissa? Maybe there is a Melissa I'm supposed to read for. Yeah, I think it's Amy. Okay, I'm just checking. Yeah. Is it? Sorry. Yeah, Amy. Okay. I want to read your energy, Amy. Thank you, Sabrina. I want to read your energy because you wrote, I just can't. I don't know why. And I've been going back and forth between, is this where I'm just supposed to be right now? Okay. If you're a generator, Amy, which I kind of feel like you might be in the generator lull and the generator void, which we have to be really freaking patient about because it's the space where nothing happens. And when we're like designed to be in response, we think we have to be in response all the time. Like all my generator sisters, like this is a great time to be like, I have to pinkify this frustration. Because our not self theme is frustration. When we're frustrated, it's because we said yes to things we were supposed to say no to. When we're frustrated, we need to step back, chill, and pinkify. Like pinkify, find better words, love language yourself, change the names on your folders. Like how could you reframe this moment from this sucks to maybe this is the last time I'm going to have so much free space before I'm really busy. Maybe I need this break because I'm about to be so freaking busy. Like let me enjoy this break as vacation. You know, like you know when you're sick and you know you're so sick that you really can't work. You're like, you know, there's like, oh, I'm tired, I'll still work. Oh, I don't feel good, I'll still work. And then there's sick where you're like, oh my God, I can't work at all. That sick is so good because it's complete surrender where you're like, I want it. I wanted to do things, but never mind. And everything has to slow down and you can't move fast and you have to do everything really slow. I bless, like I feel so blessed when those moments happen to me. I'm like, finally, I have to slow down. I cannot move faster than this. Like I have to be slow and I have to ask for help. I'm an Aries. I'm super independent. I do not ask for help and I do everything really fast. So today I was hurting so bad with my legs and the workout yesterday that I couldn't empty the dishwasher and I couldn't empty the laundry. So my son, I was like, you have to do this. And he normally helps with chores, but this time I was like, I'm not even gonna like try to do this. He has to do both for me. And he did. He came out and did it for me, which was really sweet. So I feel like, Amy, if you feel there's a difference between I've been pushing too hard and I need to slow down and live in that reality of like, never mind, it's not clear what I need to be in response towards. It's not clear what I'm like, it's not a F yes, like a fuck yes, you know, like that. I have to do this. Yeah. And in a perfect world, we would not engage in anything that is not a fuck yes. We would always be like, no, it's a no, it's a pass, it's a pass, it's a pass. We would probably pass 8 times out of 10 to get the yes, because the yes is so clear. It is so clear. The yes is a full body, like, I have to do this, nothing's gonna stop me. And I think maybe you've been in that before, and anyone who can resonate, you know what that feels like. And I'm not saying you have to wait for that, but in a perfect human design world, you kind of would. We kind of all would. We wouldn't waste our energy or time in saying yes to things that is not a full yes. We wouldn't. Because then when the full yes comes, you'd have more energy for it. You'd be prepared. You'd be like, oh, this is a full yes. Yeah? Okay. And there's plenty of times where it was a no and then it became a yes because it was better timing, better alignment, maybe better understanding, something clicked, you know? Okay, but let me still read a little bit more of what's going on with you. Ooh, right away I just saw a mother figure or like some kind of woman, perfectionistic like a, being a power person on top of you, down, like she's taller than you, talking down at you, and and you're kind of like cowering underneath. And I think it's a memorized energy that you witnessed as a kid, and she is archetypal at this point. So every archetype that we have inside of us, not every, most of them, we witness them on the outside. So I internalized, for example, my older sister, and sometimes at some point for a long time she was inside my head bullying me, as she was bullying me in real life when she was younger. She doesn't do it now, but I internalized the bullies in my head, and then they lived in my head, right? And I think, Amy, you have a critical mother figure that you internalized, and she's critical of you, and she doesn't think you ever do enough, and she doesn't think you're good enough. And I kind of want to smack her and be like, let's give the mic to your internal cheerleader who's just going to pour positive words into you and give you back that sense of, you can do this, I believe in you, you got this. And there's a couple ways that I would personally get rid of internal critics. The way that I have is that I did two things, probably more than two things. So you have to think that every one of these impact your nervous system, your emotional, your mental, and your physical, probably also, right? So energy, there's on an energy level, emotional level, mental level, spiritual level, right? So I would create, this is what I did, right? So let me try to go in order. First, you got to name the part. If you can name it, you can heal it. You got to name the part and be like, oh, that's not me, that's the part. That's the part of my head who's critical, yeah? If you can name it, you can heal it. Then I would do like a CCT audio that just like smashes the cells of the critic. Just smash them. You're like, you cannot live in this body anymore. You are smashed, gone, deleted. Okay, smash them. So that any cell in my body that is a critic is just gone out of my life. It's just doesn't get to live here anymore. And then I would do a cheerleader audio to pump up your beliefs with all kinds of positive words that feels like the best sex you've ever had. Like, words will do that to my body. They just turn me on. I feel like, oh, okay. It's like touch. Words to me are like touch. It's so good. But maybe that's not your thing. So you would find words that just activate something in you that feels like a walk in the forest, that feels like a hug, that feels like swimming in crystal blue water. And that would start to get your nervous system used to love and used to normalizing praise instead of living in criticism. And then I would use some kind of EMDR, or I teach, or I don't teach it, but I facilitate TAPAS, TAT, which helps with trauma, and EFT, anything that can help like move out of the trauma response of probably shutting down from the inner critic. Those would be some of my suggestions for that. And then, having a lot of patience and grace, because I think every time you're going to up level, sometimes, not every time, but most of the time when we up level and we get to the next level, those voices come back a little bit. Be like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to get rid of me? Yes, I'm sure. So that's how I would sort of make sure I can move beyond that. All right, it's been an hour, and I think, let me see if there's anything else for Amy. Yeah, I feel complete for everybody. So if anyone's interested, or if you have any questions about voice, visibility, and cells, it's a lot like how I was talking to Sabrina. We'll be in a Zoom call every week. We'll be in the WhatsApp group. We'll be doing ping pong sessions. So ping ponging is a way to get your nervous system, your emotional body, and your mental body all aligned with the goal. So if you have a goal, like I allow myself to sell a package this week, and you feel confident because I gave you the sales script on what to say and when to say it and how to say it. So if you have that, then you're like, okay, I'm ready. Let's bring them in. Like, universe, bring me the people who need a full package with RTT and some of the other tools that I'm going to give you and show you. And then you can be like, okay, I'm in my power. I feel powerful. You pay and you buy the course from a place of power. You're like, I'm in voice visibility and sales. It's only $1,600 right now, early bird price for maybe another week. Let me get in. Let me be in my power, because if I buy something in my power, I'm going to attract people in their power. And then you're going to show up on the call in your power. And then you're going to show up on every call every week in your power, right? And so it's a 3 months group course, but then you get to just stay in the container for the whole year. And I'm going to keep reselling it over and over again. So it's an evergreen course that's just going to be ongoing. So pretty much you're getting, a 12-month selling program for 1,600. Usually this stuff, I usually sell it for one-on-one. It's 5,555. Okay, but I just been like, I want to just make this available to more people. I want people who normally don't know how to do this to really learn how to do it and see that it works. Okay, it's not going to last forever. The regular price is $22.22. I'm going to put it back up, and then I'm probably going to increase the price. So as there's more videos, as there's more training, it will be 3,333, and then 444, and then it will be at the 555.55. Anyone who pays in full, you guys get one-on-ones with me. You get at least 2, okay? And it will just be like quick calibration. So even though you do get some one-on-one with me during the group calls, you pretty much, depending on the amount of people, will always get some one-on-one with me, either on WhatsApp or in the group. Then if you want, like, oh, I need her eyes on my business a little more, I need her one-on-one, then we can do that too if you guys pay in full. So the sooner people sign up, the sooner we start. It's going to start as soon as a few people have paid and signed up, and then we're just going to do this. And like Sabrina said, like, when anyone's in my world, it's not a guarantee. I can't guarantee you start selling packages, but you'll feel more confident. And when you feel more confident, you'll post from a different place. Okay, being in a sales container that is meant to uplift you and teach you sales practices that have worked for the last several years, it just gets you there. Now, the ping-ponging is where you get rid of the emotional blocks, mental blocks, and the nervous system blocks to your goal. So everyone has the fear of lacking safety. Everyone has the fear of lacking approval. We all have the fear of losing control. And we address them head first on every single call that you have with a ping pong sister. So she goes like, why don't you want this goal to come true? Because this is the thing. We either believe our subconscious controls 98% of our reality, or we don't. We either believe there is an intelligence that is running us, that is digesting our food, that is helping me see and talk to you right now, or we don't. And if you're a hypnotherapist, you probably believe the subconscious has a whole lot to do with everything. And so if you do believe that, the ping-ponging goes straight into the thinking brain, and the part of you who's like, wait a minute, what are you doing? I don't want you to do that. You can't get that. And over again, every time I've ping-ponged with people, they ended up making a lot more money because they got out of the way. They're like, this is what I'm calling in, and I'm going to release my attachments. I'm going to release my oppositions. I'm going to be right where I need to be in alignment. Now, the reason we release attachments is because attachments lead to a loss of intuition. If you have attachment to a goal, you're in the ego, you're in the fear. Every attachment comes from fear. We're not attached to something unless there's fear. And fear is on the opposite spectrum of intuition. If you are intuitive, it's 100% clear. It's like instantaneous truth. But if you feel afraid, your intuition is pretty much at 0. You're in the fight or flight. You're in the fawning or all of the other stress responses we have. So I handle your trauma responses really quickly, and then we make voice visibility and sales feel like you're going to the spa. Like what? Like it's hard? Like getting into Harvard? Like what? Like it's hard? Come on. Okay, so we're going to pinkify your fear of voice visibility and sales, and we're going to do this together in sisterhood, and we're going to do it through the summer, which is so cool because then you could be like, oh my God, I'm so ready. Most people may not be ready to buy in June or July, but they'll definitely be ready to buy August, September, when they're like, holy crap, it's the end of the year. What have I done with my life? And so you can be ready to go with the sales training, with all of the work we'll already have done to position yourself really quickly and easily for sales through the end of this year, which is already we're already halfway through. We're already in June. Oh my God. And so who is this program for? So voice visibility and sales, I think is for somebody who still loves to do personal development, but you don't want to do 100%. You want to be like, I want to do some personal development, but because it leads to results. Like I love to work on myself, but only if it means like I have tangible results. Like I want to see that I want it to be quantifiable that our conversation has led to results. Because I'm kind of like I'm a line one and I love digging into problems and finding the root cause and then like fixing it and then seeing that the results happened. And I have so many stories, but like Beatrice is an actress. She worked in Hollywood in big movies like the Batman movie and the 2012 movie and so many other movies for like, I think when I met her, she had been working since she was like 16 in Hollywood. So we met in 2006 or something in LA, and then we BFF all the way through. And I had my son, and then she moved to Paris, had her two kids, and was like, Alex, it's been 4 freaking years, and I haven't had a single interview. I haven't been on TV. I haven't been interviewed for anything I've done in the past. What's going on? I'm not booking shows. I'm not booking movies. And I sold her, she's my BFF. She's like my sister. I still sold her a $4,000 package because I know her. She's a tough cookie to crack. And I'm like, if she doesn't pay, she doesn't have skin in the game, I can't help her. So I wanted her to have skin in the game and I wanted her to feel like it was expensive. And it was. She goes, that's a lot of money. I'm like, I know. But because I'm really good at sales, she still bought. And I'm glad she bought because within 2 months of us working together, I think it was even faster than that, literally the next day when we found the root cause of her block, the very next day she was called by the number one television station in France to be interviewed for one of her previous movies. And there she goes. And then she was on a TV show. She still is on a TV show for 2 years in Paris, which was perfect for her because she didn't want to travel. So that's one of very many examples that I have. It's just the one I say and I like to share because it's so like it's a quick one to remember. But like I've had clients that were like, I can't sell anything in the winter. My business only runs 3 seasons out of the year, not four. And I told Jill, who runs a business called Chasing Atlas, it's a traveling agency. I'm like, why won't people travel in the winter? Everyone wants to travel in the winter. And we worked around her block, and she ended up going from a 40,000 a year business to a 6-figure business. And now she's, I think, cracked the 7-figure, realm. So it's just belief work, you guys. It is literally belief work. And to me, it's so much harder to do belief work by myself. Like when I'm in a sisterhood, when I'm in my tribe, I can do belief work way faster. So, all right. So that's it. That's the pitch, guys. You either feel it or you don't. And it's like you either get a yes or you get a no. I mean, I want you guys to listen to yourself. And I'm pretty honoring of projectors. If you're a projector, I know how to honor your need for invitation and I know how to honor your sort of your pace. And I think if you're projector, manifesting with ping ponging is the best thing for you because it will stop you from trying to hustle and it will just use your genius more. So, yeah, that's it, I think. Let me see if there's anything else I can tell you. Yeah, I mean, sales is like going to the gym. You don't just go once, you got to go 3 times a week. And this is kind of like that. You're going to be in a space where we encourage you to share because you care. We encourage you to sell and speak about what people need to know because you care. And we'll show you how to sell from the heart. And it's caring and loving. And yeah, we can niche what you want to talk about. And we can do lead magnets and copywriting, but I think that I might just save for like people who really want to grow a bigger business and that's more VIP. If you really want to, I can show you how to do copywriting for yourself or use Chat GPT, but it's almost like at the beginning you just want to be a really good energetic match for it and then people come and then you just need to know how to sell on the phone and be on a Zoom call and care and be caring enough that the people open up and then as they open up, which I'm going to show you how to do, then you can do the whole example that I did with the girl that I made up about you want to do your book, you want to move to Bermuda, you want to do this, and that. So it sounds like you just need to do this. And if you did this, then you could do that. And let's do it. 3 months, 3K. You ready? It's literally that simple. It's like, please pass me the butter. Thank you. and you just sold a package and she's wired you the money. It's happened so many hundreds of times for all of my clients that I'm like, it's really not that hard. But it's hard when you're alone. It's hard when you're like spiraling in shame. And it's hard when you don't have the cookware or the recipe or the ingredients. It's hard when you don't have all of that. But once you have the cookware and the gas to like heat up the skillet and you got the recipe and you get the eggs, then it's easy to make an omelet, you know. But it's hard if you don't have all the things. Okay, loves, I will call it a day. I'm going to go have dinner with my family and I will maybe see you guys soon. We have a 3-day free pre-work for voice visibility and sales coming up next week. Tag some friends. There's still the giveaway happening. I'm still going to pull names out of a jar of everyone who's shared, tagged, invited people in here. I'm giving away a free RTT session. I'm giving away the boss. And there's another thing I'm giving away. I even forgot what I was giving away. But oh yeah, the Theta Healing 22 Days of Magic. Do you guys like the PJ Sunday vibe? No makeup, giving you permission to be like, I'm going to show up imperfectly because I have no energy to put on makeup or pretend that I'm going to be like, hello. All right, let me know if this was helpful and what you got out of it, and I will see you guys soon.